Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. I hope that you're good. I cannot get the light right in this room right now, so apologies. I know I'm half in shadow, half in light, as is the painting behind me, and maybe that's completely perfect because actually we're going to be talking about the partial lunar eclipse that's coming up on Friday, light and shadow, and we're also going to be talking about the energies of the next couple of weeks. So it's all a bit of a dance at the moment, isn't it, between the light and the shadow, both within ourselves and within the wider world. So I guess the light in my room is reflecting that. Anyway, before we get into today's video, I'd just like to welcome all of the new subscribers to this channel. We've had quite an influx recently. Thank you very much for that. I do honour people who are on this journey with me, and the fact that you place your trust in me to bring through the right information and the right guidance. I do my best to try and get it right most of the time, and it comes from my heart and from the right place. So warm welcome to all of you. Thank you also for everybody that shared my videos recently, liked my videos, and also sent donations in. It's very appreciated, and also brought products that we sell as well, the sprays, the cards, etc. Thank you. Okay, let's get in then to today's subject, which is the energy of the next couple of weeks and what does that look like. I'm going to be using 3 particular decks, I think, in this reading, although it could change. The description of those is below in the description box. Also, I get so bored having to say this because it's so tedious that these people are still out there, but please watch out for scammers. They are everywhere at the moment. It actually feels like a form of spiritual attack, which I think is what it is. I'm not the only spiritual teacher that's experiencing it. Most people that have got sizable platforms are having these problems, and it is on Facebook, it's on Instagram in particular at the moment. People are setting up pages, they look identical to my page, and then they are asking you, would you like a reading? And they're taking your money. I cannot say more clearly that I do not offer personal readings. I will never approach you and ask you whether you would like one. Never, ever. And the official page at the moment on Instagram is called Angelic Celestial Colours. It's got, I think, 33.8 thousand followers. That's the official page. Anything else that you're following is fake, okay? And I think Facebook, same title, page name, Angelic Celestial Colours, I think it's about 22,000, something like that, okay? So please just be savvy. I feel as though this is also a huge lesson for all of us in discernment, which is one of the big words that we've been talking about on this channel for yonks. So just stay safe online, okay? Right, let's get into it then. So yes, partial lunar eclipse, visible from the Americas, Northern Europe, East Asia, Australia and the Pacific this Friday, and a full moon in Taurus. So shall we have a deep dive into what these energies are going to feel like, and what they may bring in, bring up, etc. I'd like to use this card, okay. This card has always rather intrigued me. It's from the Japaridze tarot deck, and it is the card of the moon. I mentioned it in the Travis Scott video actually because it came out then, and I said in that video this card's always intrigued me, and I thought I want to have another look at what this is all about, not linked into that subject, but what is this card trying to tell us for this full moon. So we're going to build the reading around that. I've also got the Moonology deck out, and the full moon in Taurus card in that says your dreams need a practical plan. So we'll have that one out as well. So let's just get to the cards and let's see what they want to say. I did have a little vision a few days ago where I was actually working with the energy of Merlin. And I will just say this because it may be important, it may not. You never quite know when you get messages. Merlin took me into the centre of the sea. Now, of course, where the centre of the sea is completely relative, linked into where you are in the world. But I felt like I was in the middle of the sea, and I felt like there was a anti-clockwise vortex energy there. That was the first thing I was being shown, an anti-clockwise vortex energy. But then from that came what looked like a huge fountain of white, watery light. And I'm saying white, watery light rather than rain because it didn't really feel like rain. It felt like white light in droplet form. And it was coming up from the centre of the sea like this beautiful fountain. And then it was sort of cascading over north, east, south and west over our world. Now, this white light felt very cleansing, but it felt like it came from the deepest part of the sea. I also saw the image of Neptune, who is the god of the sea. So full moons always have impact on the waters of our world. They also have an impact on the waters within ourselves because we are made up largely of water. So it feels as though there is something coming up from the depths, both maybe collectively within our world, but equally within ourselves. So it feels as though there's a massive purge, a massive cleansing going on around this time. And the gift that it brings is the white light, okay? The white light. So let's just spray a bit of white light, having said all of this. And, okay, so white light. And I'm hearing white light behind me, white light in front of me, white light beside me, white light underneath me. So there's something very protective about the white light at this time. And of course the moon illuminates. The moon is like this great big mirror as well. The other energy that I'm feeling very around at the moment, Merlin, yes. Christ, yes. Also Archangel Gabriel, and I guess it's because we're coming into the December months. Gabriel always seems to obviously make an appearance for obvious reasons. But I also want to pull in Gabriel's energy as well. And I'm just going to spray the Gabriel energy. But I did actually get a message from him earlier as well, which I'll say before I spray it because it might be a different message that I get this time. I was just shown again another huge mirror. So again, if you've done the 1111 work with me, you know we looked in that mirror, didn't we? In fact, we looked in a couple of different mirrors. This was another mirror. But this, the only way I can describe it was, imagine a mirror's here and we're looking into the mirror. The mirror was just getting closer and closer and closer to our face. It's almost like no hiding place. No hiding place. Having to look in the mirror and see ourselves as we truly are. Probably also seeing the world as it truly is as well, okay? So let me just spray Gabriel again, see if he gives me any more on that, or there might be something else, or maybe we just need a transmission of his energy. Again, Gabriel comes in with this silvery white light. Archangel Gabriel, welcoming you in, honouring you, acknowledging your presence, acknowledging all of the messages that you give to us, that you often whisper to us, that we fail to acknowledge, we fail to truly hear, we turn away from, but we are being asked to turn towards the messages that we are receiving at this time. And I'm feeling very strongly, just like a sensation in both ears here. And of course, Gabriel is the messenger angel. He's the one that gave the news to Mary, you know, that she was to be of child with Christ, etc. Gabriel comes in with messages. So it feels as though this full moon energy and the lunar eclipse is going to bring forth messages personally and collectively. Now, historically, the moon in the tarot card is very much about what is hidden. It's what we can't see. I'd also like to add, it's what we often don't want to see. It's what we turn away from. But it feels as though there's no getting away from what is going to be revealed around this time, in our own lives and in terms of our own behaviours and in terms of our own sabotaging, I'm hearing. It's almost as though we can see all of our patterns and we have to keep it light. I'm being told we have to keep it light and bouncy, okay? So rather than this feeling very heavy and it's like, oh my God, I did that, did I? Oh my God, I've made that mistake again, have I? Oh, why do I keep going round and round in circles? Keep it light. I'm literally being shown, it's like a boxer energy. You know, a boxer when they're limbering up in the ring and they're just, or on their track and they're just trying to keep their muscles warm and they're getting ready. It's like it's light on your feet. It's like the Muhammad Ali quote, sting like a, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It's that type of energy. I've got his energy here as well. He would be great to channel. Yes, one day I will. Okay, the moon, what is going to be revealed? Let's pull some more cards. So, full moon in Taurus, partial lunar eclipse energies. What's coming in, please? And I'm going to call in the energy here of Gabriel. And I'm really feeling, as soon as I say that here, all across here, and I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? Because this is like the third eye energy. And it's interesting I'm doing this. It's like I'm swiping right. What does that mean, swiping right? It's something to do with swiping right. Is that what we do on our phones? I guess it is, isn't it? We swipe up, we swipe right. We don't actually swipe left, do we? We swipe right. So there's something about just wanting to, again, it's like I don't want to look at it. I'm just going to swipe it. I don't need to see that. It's like the mirror is coming closer and closer to all of our faces. And it's like, no, there is something here for you to look at. Right, what is this card that I have in my hot little hand? Perfect. How lovely is that? I'm glad it was a good card. It's the Fool. The Fool. Wow, brilliant. So what we don't see coming is the new start. What we don't see coming is the new start. The Fool is the complete and utter new beginning. It's actually starting from scratch. It's you know, traditionally the Fool has just got this tiny little rucksack on his back. He hasn't got many possessions in it. He doesn't need many possessions because he's traveling light. That's the whole point about the energy of the Fool. He's traveling light. We're meant to be traveling light into this next stage. What is the next stage? I think it's 2022. Okay, so massive clearing going on at the moment, preparing the way for next year. But we've got the energy of the Fool, and you know, this depiction of the Fool, this particular deck, it's very interesting because of course he's up on a we're up on a high wire. We're up on a high wire. We're on a blinking, what are they called? A unicycle, you know? And we've had to, not only are we doing that, which is, you know, maybe a little bit scary in itself, we've actually had to climb up these ladders. And oh my God, that's bringing back such triggering memories of me being at school. You know, the gymnasiums when you used to have to climb up the ladder and go through the top bit. I could never do it. It's actually making me feel sick, just the thought of it. I need to heal this. Fortunately, I had friends who, when it got to my turn to climb the ladder, they would do it when the teacher wasn't looking, that they would step in front of me and I'd go to the back of the queue again. Something in this memory though, isn't there? It's like, no, other people would do it for me because I couldn't do it. I couldn't go through the top bit of the gymnasium climbing wall. It was too much. I couldn't face my fear. What if I fell? You know, so this is definitely, it's like letting go of any codependency as well. It's like, no, I'll do it for you. No, we have to do this ourselves. There's only one person on that unicycle and there's only one wheel on it as well. Okay, the stabilizers are coming off. The stabilizers are coming off. Might be the title of this video. Let's see what other cards we've got. Okay, so the Moon and the Fool, what you can't see coming. And again, let me just go back to this because I love the fact we've got floating balloons in this card, because you know that technique, which I don't think is very environmentally friendly anymore to do, but I did it in the past, which is, you know, you make a wish or you want to let something go and you release the balloon into the sky. And it's like it will travel wherever it's meant to travel, but it's very much about just letting go. Well, we need to just visualize that now rather than sending loads of plastic and rubber out into the ocean. But it's the same thing. It's almost as though these wishes, these dreams, what it is that we've just put out there into the universe, and then we've let it go with trust, it's coming back, but we can't see it. We can't see its arrival necessarily. It's really quite interesting. On the bottom of this deck as well, I've just noticed that we've got the High Priestess. So again, the High Priestess with the Moon card, this is like a double veil. It's a double veil. I'm now being shown almost like an old-fashioned circus tent or something, whereby, you know, it's reminding me of something like Tunnel of Love, you know, that Bruce Springsteen song, Tunnel of Love. Into the tunnel of, I love that song, love Springsteen. Or any fairground ride, or any, in the old days, I don't know if they still do it, you used to have to go through this almost like plastic sheeting to get to the thrill. You know, it's like I have to get through that because people on the outside aren't allowed to see the magic of what is inside. So it's literally as though we're having to not just peel back one layer, we're having to peel back 2 layers. Excuse me, my nose is running. Okay, let's see, let's carry on. So we've got the Fool, the Priestess and the Moon, 3 major arcana cards. So, you know, this is feeling pretty non-negotiable. I mean, it may very well be that your back is against the wall, you know, and it's like, I know there's a new start, but I'm really freaking out a little bit over it, but it's still happening. We have the 2 of Wands, as I said that, which is the 2 of Swords. Oh, look at that, and the Devil on the bottom of the deck. How interesting. So what I'm channeling here is for a group of people who feel as though they want the new start, whatever that means, but they are scared. They're scared of it, okay? They are scared of the new start. It's choice point times. 2 of Swords is choice point times. It's crossroads. It's a crossroads. And it's like this old energy, the devil energy, which is our shadow, which is saying, you don't really want to go through those doors, do you, and see what's on the other side? And your higher self is saying, yes, yes, because that's where the magic is. That's absolutely where I want to go. That's where my higher self has been guiding me to all along. It's been pushing me. It's been giving me the signs. It's been giving me the synchronicities. Yes, I want to go. I want to be like the child who wants to explore. Let me at it. And then the devil on your shoulder is saying, careful, careful, careful. And again, that story I told you of the gymnasium and me is an interesting one because it feels very symbolic and important for this video. Because it's not just my story, it's also your story. Because behind my fear of climbing to that top bit and then having to go through it and whatever happened then, was my mother's voice. It was the voice of fear. It's ancestral stuff. It's the family line that says, be careful, be careful. You don't know what's on the other side. You don't know. Be careful, Amanda. Be careful, James. I don't know why I'm saying James. Is there a James out there that's particularly resonating with this message? You know? Yeah, the devil on the shoulder is trying to keep you at the crossroads, I'm hearing. It's interesting. Interesting, because it's almost like it's not even wanting to pull you back. It's wanting to keep you at the crossroads. Now think about what the crossroads represents. The crossroads is basically, it's indecision. It's confusion. It's like scratching your head thinking, okay, I could go there, I could go there, could go there, could go back. But actually I'm just going to dither. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sit down and do nothing. You know, so we don't want that. Anything else to say on that shadowy energy with this lunar eclipse? Yeah, because the Ten of Gardens is beckoning. The Ten of Gardens is something substantial, something grounded, something good, something that you've planted, something that you seeded long ago, something that you deserve. It's almost like a karmic reward I'm hearing as well for many people. All the good that you've done coming back to you tenfold. But yet you've got to move away from the crossroads to be able to get to it. Okay. How many cards have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feels like I want 8 cards. 2 more cards from this deck, please. So full moon in Taurus. Give me the energy of the full moon in Taurus, please. The King of Fire. And on the bottom of the deck, the 7 of Fire. I love this deck because it's so much more than just the traditional meanings of, you know, of the suits. Because in this is very clearly saying to me, if you go towards the 10 of Gardens, this is your shadow talking right now. If I go towards the 10 of Gardens, what is abundant, what is good, what I have planted and what I deserve, I am going to get burnt at the stake. I mean, obviously not physically, but it's bringing up probably a past life memory as well of times when you literally may have been. I know I probably was. Those of us that have led lifetimes before where we've been the high priestess or the high priest, okay, the shaman, the wise elder of the village, all of that stuff, we will have had lifetimes of persecution. We, you know, in the flames. So, you know, do I want to go back and be this? Because this is what happened last time. Don't move. Just stay where you are. Stay at the crossroads. It's safer here. You don't want to go towards that. That's just battle. But this is total shadow talking. It's total shadow talking. Because to be perfectly honest, over and above anything that might have happened to you in a past lifetime, if you actually truly look at that card, and I hope it's showing properly on my camera, but he's actually looking quite nonchalant in the flames. It's almost like, am I bothered? It's just like, am I bothered? It is. It's just like he's there, but he's not there. It's like, let them do whatever they want to do to me because they can't touch me. I'm hearing the untouchable one. You are actually the untouchable one. We are all the untouchable ones. If we are back to the white light at the beginning, that thing about white light in front of me, white light behind me, white light to my side, okay? White light underneath me, white light above me. There's nothing that can touch you. So all of these fears, which is this energy of like, but what if I go towards what I truly feel in my heart I need or I deserve, or I close out the chapter to start the new one? What if? All of the what ifs. But this is saying to me that the King of Fire is pretty protected here, okay? Any challenge that you meet along your way, because let's be real, life isn't all roses and vanilla, is it? You know, even if you have the new start, yes, it's liberating and it's freeing, but it also has challenges with it. I mean, you're on a unicycle there. There's still a little bit of like, oh my gosh, am I going to be okay? Is there a safety net underneath me? Yes, there is. Of course there is. So this is also feeling like a baptism of fire. It's quite interesting. I don't know what's going on with the astrology at the moment, but you know, I don't think it's just me, because I've noticed a few of you are saying it in the comments as well. But the full moons are not feeling like full moons; they're feeling like new moons, and vice versa. And this lunar eclipse is feeling fiery. It's like this is all fire, but yet when we're actually meant to be talking lunar, it's almost like the merging of the fire and the water, the merging of the new and the old, everything a little bit upside down at the moment. But I guess when things are upside down or feeling, I don't know whether we are still in a Neptunian energy, but it feels a little bit like that. It's like the hanged man in the tarot. It's like that's when we start to see things in a new light. Okay, well normally I feel like this on a full moon, but actually I don't with this one. I feel something different. That's okay, go and explore. All right, let's pull some other cards then from another deck, because I have got a couple of decks here. Got this sweet little deck, Sea Melodies by Jessica Lee. This one was calling me today, so let's just see what this wants to say. The first one on the bottom of the pack is the ocean. So we had that message earlier about the white light coming out of the ocean. Because it's interesting, you see, what I saw in that vision about the white light coming out from the bottom of the sea, it's a bit like here. It's like, there's this moon card, this it's arising. It's like we can see something. Right, what wants to go with this card of ocean? The card of ocean. What is the ocean trying to say to us at this moment in time? What is the ocean trying to say to us at this moment in time? Oh, okay. I'm going to take this one. I'm also going to take the one on the bottom of the pack. Breathe, but we've also got turbulence. So what is the ocean trying to say to you? It's trying to say breathe, and it's trying to say turbulence. Because to be honest, that vision that I had, anti-clockwise, it's like something's happening here. Something's going on. This is like almost not the norm. It's like, why is it not clockwise? Why is it going anti-clockwise? But and it's like it's going deep. It's what are we going to find at the bottom of the seabed? But then all of a sudden it turns into something beautiful, and this gift comes out. So yeah, we've got the card of turbulence. It says the mind is murky in rough waters. And so we need to learn to breathe, break from beneath the water's surface and soar up beyond the turquoise sea. Hearing that song, just face the music and dance. There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and love and romance, just take and dance. Hearing that one, okay. Oh, I don't know, I'm shuffling this deck again, but actually I have just shuffled the deck, so let's have the card that's come out, which is the Six of Gardens. Nice card, I'm glad I reshuffled. And I love this card. Something coming back to you. Exchange, receiving and giving. It's what I'm saying. It's what you've planted before, what you've given before is coming back to you. I mean, it can work in reverse as well. If you've sown a lot of trouble and a lot of mischief, then that can be coming back to you as well. It's almost like paying your dues. Interestingly, there's a card on the bottom of this deck. I was going to pull from the Lantern Oracle today, but I just noticed that this card was on the bottom of the deck. And it's the card of the trickster. It's the trickster card. So it feels as though, put it this way, if you've been in a situation where you have been tricked, okay, that could be anything. Somebody's betrayed you, somebody's tricked you, somebody's lied to you, somebody hasn't been who you thought they were and you've suddenly seen the light. It's as though there's going to be a greater reward coming back to you for having gone through that, particularly if you've gone through it with grace and you haven't stooped to their level. That's very important. The rewards come when we're able to take a higher position than the one who has been sneaky, and cunning and tried to get one over on us. The rewards come. But likewise, it's almost as though the universe deals with the people at this moment in time who've been the tricksters. I'm hearing the spell binders. I'm hearing the spell binders and the spell breakers. So I hope this is right, Spirit. That's what I'm being given, that those that have put people under spells, and I'm not talking black magic spells here, I'm talking about collective manipulation, propaganda, that type of stuff. The spell gets broken. I mean, wow, if the spell gets broken, and I'm now wanting to put it with that card, it's the all-seeing eye. We are the all-seeing eye. And it's really interesting because straight away I'm feeling it's like the all-seeing eye is also Big Brother, isn't it? It's Big Brother society. And there is a timeline at the moment which is Big Brother just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're being watched more and more and more. And to be perfectly honest, that is the truth. If you're on your laptop, if you're on your phone, if you walk down the street, there are cameras, all the rest of it. We live in a society in most places, not in all places, but certainly in many places of people that are watching me, where we are being scrutinised and watched more and more than we ever have been. But I'm feeling another timeline coming in, which is, it's almost like, this is like the camera, and then the camera reverses, and I'm wanting to put it the other way round. So what has been watching us suddenly starts inverting back, and it's like we start watching them. It's as though we start to see the manipulation that's been going on behind the scenes, that's been going on for many years. And it's on this card of the trickster. It says, the trickster's only power is your trust. You are always free to withdraw it. So it feels as though there is a waking up to the betrayal of trust. I have, and this can be collective, it can also be personal. I have trusted you, I've placed my faith in you, but actually it's led me down a blind alley. You know, interesting with the eyeball, it's led me down a blind alley. I now cannot see. I'm so confused. Again, back to the crossroads and inertia. I'm now so confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's true, what's wrong. What do we do then? We go within. We go within. We listen to our own inner compass. We also have help from messenger angels such as Gabriel, you know? And I'm hearing Gabriel over this period is going to help us steer us back onto the right path out of all of this confusion. I'm hearing collective smog. It's as though we've all been wading through collective smog. And it's as though the opportunity of this moon and lunar eclipse is when it clears, it's as though we start to be able to see clearly, much more clearly, which can only be a good thing. We can see the tricksters in our midst. Some people may have already seen through that anyway, but if you haven't, it's coming. But equally, there's a day of reckoning for the trickster type energy as well. Going back to what I was saying at the start of this video, the spammers, the people that are, you know, not spammers, scammers, the scammers that are out there, trickster energy, hiding behind other people's faces, other people's identity. It's everywhere at the moment. You know, the phone rings, it's somebody trying to fob you off with something. It's like we're all sick to our stomach with it. So we need... I'm now being again shown that white light from the ocean. It's almost as though there's this cleansing energy that wants to come in around our world, our homes and ourself. I would definitely encourage you to be showering yourself with white light. And that's literal, okay? So it could be that if you're blessed enough to be in a warm, sunny climate, you go out and you imagine the sun's rays as being white light. Even on a day like today, which is cloudy here, but actually the white light behind the cloud is quite bright. Go out and bathe in that. Wear white. Interestingly, I've noticed with my clothes, I don't know whether you're noticing this, but I put on darker colours, and I'm having to take them off within a few moments. I can't wear dark colours at the moment, and it's a bit of a bummer really, because I've got a lot of dark blue in my wardrobe. Well, there's nothing wrong with the clothes, but I'm hoping it's temporary because I'm not about to go and buy a new wardrobe. But I just want to wear lighter colours. Even like with winter coming in this part of the world, it's not just because, oh, it's winter. I love winter actually. It's like, I can't go there. I don't want to go into these darker colours. I'm talking about wearing them. Although I'm also realising as I'm saying it, there is also symbology there, and I don't want to go into the dark. I don't want to go into the void, you know? No, it's okay. That's what's being asked of us at the moment. Into the void is where we go. Off we go, into the void. And into the void, we then discover, actually, there's beauty there. That's where we find our talents, our gifts. We realise we can do it. We can do it. If there was a gymnasium nearby, maybe I need to go and climb up to that highest ladder, and my legs would be shaking. But after I've done it, I'd probably feel a lot better. It's that type of thing. We've got to push through. You see, I've also got the card of ambition here. How funny. I've also got the card of rescue. It's what I've been saying to you. It's like we've got to set our sights a bit higher. We've got to be a little bit more ambitious, that I can do this. I can do this. Whatever that means in your life, I can do this. And stop waiting for somebody to rescue us. Like my friends rescued me all those years ago. It's all right, we know Amanda can't do it. We'll take her place. Go to the back of the line, love. You know, better luck next time. There never was a next time, because they always covered up for me. They knew I couldn't do it. Because to be perfectly honest, I couldn't do it then. I'm not going to judge my old self, and you shouldn't judge your old self. We've all got fears, we've all got things we find hard to do, but what I'm trying to express in this video is it feels as though there's an energy coming in where we're being given a real opportunity to break through some of our fears, not all of our fears, some of them. So have a think right now about what is something that's plagued you your whole life maybe, or something that you always wished you could have done but didn't. I'll give you another example from my life. I remember when I used to do market research, I went all over the world with it. I was very, very blessed. And then one day my boss said to me, okay, we need somebody to go out to India and do work there. And I was, I don't know, 20, I was late 20s. And I said no. And I've always kicked myself. And I said no because I wasn't confident travelling on my own in India. And okay, you might say, okay, well, you're in your 20s, fair enough. But the thing is, it was my shadow that said no. I knew at that time that the other side of me was saying, go, you'll have an amazing adventure. You will see things that will change your reality and your life. But my shadow said no. So somebody else went in my place. And I've always regretted it. So it's this thing about not having regrets. It's not to say that all of us have now got to start jumping out of aeroplanes and doing bungee jumps. I'm probably never going to do that. But I'm talking about the things where you know it's on the radar because you know you could do it if you really pushed yourself a little bit harder. But you've got to be a little bit ambitious. But it also means being aware of who your rescuers are as well. Being aware of the people who say, it's okay, don't worry, you don't have to do that. It's actually it's an overprotective mother energy as well. And I was wondering why Mary Magdalene wanted to come into this reading, because I've got spray here, and I thought, well, what's Mary got to do with this reading? But I feel I feel she's perfect to help us get through this, because certainly I know my fears come from, bless her heart, but an overprotective mother, okay? Whereas the Mary Magdalene energy, I'm not meaning to offend anybody, but she was ballsy. She went into a man's world. If you think about the symbolism of Mary Magdalene, she was the female disciple. She was the 13th disciple. She was ignored, she was ridiculed, she was written out of the text in terms of who she really was, etc. All of that. Who she really was extraordinary. Let's have a bit of her energy, shall we? Have I got a Mary Magdalene deck? Oh yeah, I have. Okay, let's get a card from Mary Magdalene. You can do it if you really try. Who did that? You can do it if you really try. Da, 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 da. I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. You can do it if you... Is it reggae? Come on, where else are you going to hear reggae and Mary Magdalene together? You can do it if you really try. You can do it if you really try. But you can try. Mm-hmm. Who sang that? I'm going to pause my camera, guys. Hold on. Love it. Wow. Okay, the lyrics are so perfect. It was actually Desmond Dekker. Desmond Dekker, you can get it if you really want. I have the King of Ska. He calls himself the King of Ska. Okay. That's not reggae, is it? Ska is something different. All right, listen to the lyrics. It's all tied in with what I've just been channeling. It says, you can get it if you really want, but you must try and try. You'll succeed at last. Interesting. It then says this word, persecution. Persecution you must bear. Win or lose, you've got to get your share. You've got your mind set on a dream. You can get it through harder, though hard it may seem now. Rome was not built in a day. Opposition will come your way. But the hotter the battle you see is the sweeter the victory now. Oh, I love it. I just think that's perfect. My light's gone off again. Hold on. There we go. So, Desmond Dekker. I remember that. That is a song from my childhood. Oh, my goodness. Desmond Dekker. Come on. Bring it. Love it. Right. Let's get serious again. That's just raised the whole vibration for me. That is our tune for the full moon in Taurus. Okay, Desmond Dekker, you can get it if you really want. You can try and try and try and try. Brilliant. Okay, let's have a message from Mary now. That one. Okay. Gaia, and the Matrix. How interesting. Interesting because I put those two cards together and it takes me back to what I was talking about in terms of this ocean event. Gaia and the Matrix. Let me see what it says about the Matrix card. Oh God, sorry, hold on a minute. Getting so excited with Desmond Decker and setting fire to the place. Oh, just move the camera as well. Hold on. Right, the Matrix. What does it say about the Matrix? Oh good, it's a short message. It says, trying to figure out why certain things happen is like attempting to piece together a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle while only having a few pieces of the puzzle in your possession. You cannot fully understand the present situation using the logic of your finite mind. Just know that a bigger picture exists, even though it is not possible for you to see it at this time. Trust, for all that is happening is an act of love, and ultimately you will discover the blessing. Have patience. You will look back on this period of your life and be thankful for all that is occurring now. Yeah, so this to me is linked into the Fool card. This is saying, it's literally like the future life, your future life is this beautiful jigsaw made up of 1,000 pieces. And at the moment, you're being given one little piece. And it might be a corner, it might be the middle piece. It could be a very random piece. But rather than freaking out and thinking, I don't know all of what I'm meant to be doing, or even what this big picture is going to look like, you have to start somewhere, and you have to trust, and you have to have the ability to go through those doors. And Gaia has got you through this whole process. Gaia has got you. Mother Earth has got you. Mother Earth is actually bringing it back to you. Mother Earth is those people that do jigsaws. You can get something called a jigsaw board. She's the jigsaw board. The jigsaw board is what you put the jigsaw on. She's the jigsaw board. And it's large enough, steady enough to hold the story of your life and the next chapter. It's very beautiful. Okay. Let's just spray Mary now and see if I can get any other message from her. Mary Magdalene. And we're asking about full moon in Taurus, lunar eclipse. I'm hearing, and I know this is a really big thing to say, but I'm hearing your prayers have been answered. But it doesn't mean necessarily that it's coming back in the way that you think it's coming back. It doesn't mean necessarily that it's coming back in the time frame you think it's coming back. The jigsaw that you think is about to arrive, the next chapter, could look quite different when it turns up. But it will be what you need for this next part of your journey. There's like a toing and a froing between Mary and Gabriel. It's almost as though Mary Magdalene feels quite like Sandalphon today, in that it feels like she's been the one that's been carrying prayers to heaven, prayers to Source, prayers to the central point from which the fountain and the wishes can come back to us. And Gabriel's then bringing them back. It's like she's going there, he's coming there. It's like, how interesting. Gabriel. Okay, I'm now being shown an image of us literally like falling to our knees in grace. Now, I always say with regard to falling to your knees that I don't believe, I believe the Ascended Masters want us to be able to look them in the eyes, okay? They don't see us as subservient or beneath us. So that whole thing about get down on your knees, you miserable sinner, that's not what I'm seeing. But I am seeing a different type of get down on your knees, which is like, oh my God, thank you. There's nothing. It's like praise. It's like a moment of praise, gratitude, thankfulness, grace. Touched by grace. There's an energy of being touched by grace, just when we need it. Let's pull a card here from this last deck that I wanted to use in this session today, which is the Gaia Oracle. I also just wanted to say something before I did that I was very called to wear my topaz today. I've got topaz earrings and topaz ring. They're actually old. They were my mum's. But I always know there's a reason why I'm called to wear certain things or, you know, use certain sprays and cards. So crystals are part of that as well. And the topaz, I looked up the meaning of topaz, and I just want to read you a few things. Number one, it was said to be a holy stone that was one of the great priest's breastplate. It was one of the 12 gemstones that had been used, and they were the symbol of the 12 heavenly angels. The ancient people and the Greeks believed that brown topaz, which is what this is, let me put it up to the camera, brown topaz had an angel's energy with extraordinary power. Successive priests and emperors have used it due to its immense powers. It helps promote openness, honesty, self-realization, and self-control, making you a better person and leading a greater life. It motivates you to get better and to attain success in anything that you do in life. And it helps you in avoiding dangers and shows you the most right way to succeed. It helps in clearing your head of all the confusion and brings clarity in your mind that further gets reflected in your thoughts. I mean, this is all that I've been saying, isn't it? It's extraordinary. I'm just reading this from a website, by the way. It's called topazfacts.com, just to give them a shout out. I mean, I've never seen the website before. It's just one that was calling me. So there's something about working with topaz that is helpful during this time frame as well. So I just want to bring that in. I mean, actually, if you look back at this card of trickery, the lady that's being tricked here by the fox energy, she's very topazy. You know, she's wearing almost like a topaz colour. She's wearing the colour of this ring. It's very sort of, yeah. And with that, I see you. I see you. I've you know, I'm linked into the holy. I'm linked into my angelic self. I can see through the trickery. Oh, I love this card on the bottom of this. I just picked it up and it's on the bottom of the deck. But again, this is the white light. It's what I'm saying. It's card number 11, rising above. There's something coming whereby we're able to see so much more clearly. So much more clearly. We're rising above. We're soaring. The thermals. Remember we had that card of turbulence. The thermals that we're riding through could be a little bit choppy, but we're okay. We have grace. Or you've got to keep the energy of grace. The energy of grace. And if you don't know what grace is, I think Gabriel is a great one to be linking into to experience what grace is. Shall we just bring through the energy of grace? Let's just channel the energy of grace. Let's just feel what grace feels like. The energy of grace. Go into your hearts. Open your hearts. And I'm seeing a beautiful white rose. The energy of grace. Softness, gentleness, honouring, respect, filled with grace and wonder. You're filled with grace and wonder to be able to take the next steps. There's an energy of grace that is coming. Wow, I can really feel that coming through my hands. It's really powerful. Just like you to experiment. And if those of you that meditate, maybe just meditate on the word grace. the frequency of grace. You don't have to, it's also about being gracious. So it doesn't matter that Bella's barking her head off and someone's about to walk through the door and it's all getting chaotic in my house. It's holding the energy of grace. It's like holding the energy of peace. It's easy to hold the energy of peace sitting on top of a mountain on your own, not troubled by anything. It's much harder to hold the energy of peace when there's chaos going on. But that's the test. That's the opportunity. That's the lesson. It's the same with grace. Being gracious in defeat, being gracious sometimes in having to walk away. Also being filled with grace is linked into gratitude. But being gracious. One final card. Oh God, that's so beautiful. So beautiful. We've got the card of peace, but we've also got this, a hidden gift. That's what I was saying to you. It's a lunar eclipse, but again, we've got the energy of the sun. I guess the sun is flaring off again. I guess there's big solar flares coming in. I'm assuming that's about to happen or is on its way already. But again, these solar flares are giving a gift. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some big solar flare that happens around the time of this lunar moon. This lunar eclipse. It's almost as though there is this, again, keep it light, Muhammad Ali, keep it light on our feet. It's almost like there's this little, I don't want to say fight. It's like a dance between the moon and the sun at the moment. It's the masculine and the feminine. The moon is gearing up for her big show. Hey, I'm about to do a partial lunar eclipse. And the sun is saying, oh, well, I'm actually about to set off an X-class flare, which, and it's like, we're down here and it's like, whoa, what do I look at? Do I look at the moon? Do I look at the sun? You look at all of it. It's all a gift. It's all a gift. The energies coming in are a gift to propel you to where you need to be, where you deserve to be, okay? But also this card of a hidden gift. It says sadness. It says there can be an ending, but there also is a new beginning. So being at peace with the ending and being at peace with the new beginning to come. It feels very fortuitous, holy times. So stay in alignment, stay surrounded with the white light, okay? Invoke the white light. How do I do that? You just ask for it. Okay, there's no secrets here. It's simple. You ask to be surrounded by the white light. My work is all about the energy of Archangel Metatron. He's my main guide. So ask Archangel Metatron to bring in the white light around you. Flush it through you. As I said at the start, put it in front of you, behind you, either side of you, above you, below you. Have it in your heart as that white, beautiful flower with the energy of grace. It's going to see you through these days. Maybe journal, keep a record of what you're seeing afresh with new eyes. I thought that about this person or that situation. Now I see clearly. Write it down, get it out. These are important revelations that are happening for you and for our world. What else did we have here? And yeah, don't stay at that crossroads. Don't stay at that crossroads. It's the shadow that's trying to keep you there, confused and flummoxed. The one thing I've always experienced myself in life when I've been confused and flummoxed and at that crossroads, the thought of change is always far worse than the actual change itself. It's the shadow it's the what if energy, but if I do that, then that could happen or this could happen. Whereas actually when we dive in and we're like the fool, where is the card? We're like the fool, we realise we can do it. We can do it. And actually, do you know what? Actually, I'm quite enjoying doing it. Something different, change, seeing ourselves in a new light as well. Seeing ourselves in a new light. So again, that mirror that we were shown at the beginning of this reading, in terms of take a look, it's also now take a look at the new you. Get used to that face, I don't know if you've had the same compulsion as me, but I've been throwing out clothes left, right and centre because they represent like the old me. It's like, it's not me anymore. I will just end on a lighter note because it was so sweet. Those of you that have got kids will understand this. As we get a bit older, particularly us as mums, and we have these beautiful girls who are young versions of who we used to be perfectly honest, and then we put something on and it's like, oh God, I don't like the look of that. I feel awful in that or whatever. So this was only yesterday, I had a jumper on, I threw it off and I said to Sophie, I said, oh, I don't like this anymore. It doesn't suit me. She said, I'll have it, Mum. I'll have it. I thought it was so lovely because it's almost as though, oh, maybe it wasn't so bad. The old me wasn't so bad, you know? Somebody else appreciates that. So it's all a journey, guys. It's all a journey. Take great care of yourselves. Lots of love. And I will be back soon. Bye-bye for now. Bye. Please like and share the video. Thank you. Bye-bye.